All right, good morning. I shot a deer last night and I thought I'd do a video on how I track deer and how I think about tracking deer after you shoot them with a bow.
Yeah.
There's a couple things that make this deer interesting. We got James and Micah here, and these guys are going to be hunting next year, so I'm teaching them kind of the thought process here and how this works. So a couple of things that make this deer interesting. Incidentally, this is, I think, my 100th deer with a bow, and that's maybe interesting, maybe not. But I shot it last night just as legal light was fading, and it was a little hard to see what exactly happened. And I shot it at close range. I'm not shooting luminox, so I couldn't tell exactly where I hit this deer. Didn't see it go down. I think I might have heard it crash, but there's some question marks here. So I thought it would be interesting, take you with us and you can learn along with us as we track this deer. So we just now got to where I shot the deer. You guys excited?
Yeah.
The first thing that gives us a clue as to how the hit was has nothing to do with the arrow or the blood or anything like that. It has to do with the sound that the arrow makes when it hits the deer.
Okay.
And what I heard last night when I let that arrow go was just a solid thump.
That's
Just a
sometimes
thump.
good. Usually good. Usually a good shot.
I think so.
Not always a good shot, but it usually is the good shot.
What I didn't hear was a kind of a plop sound. And when you hear that, that's kind of a sickening feeling. When you hear a plop, that means you hit it in the guts.
Yeah.
So I know I didn't hit it in the guts. We can rule that out. I also did not hear a loud crack. When you hear a crack,
You hit its ribs.
you hit a bone of some sort.
Yeah.
Sometimes a leg, sometimes a shoulder. Sometimes it can make a loud crack when you hit the ribs. Sometimes it doesn't.
What about the spine?
Well, that's a great question. Sometimes you hear a crack when you hit the spine, but what else happens when you hit the spine of a deer?
It just drops.
Yeah, it
That
just drops. This
That
one,
didn't happen. That one ran. This one ran.
this one ran. So we know we didn't hit it in the spine. We know we didn't hit it in the head. Same thing happens when you hit it in the head.
Yeah.
And we know we didn't hit it in the guts. So we already know that much just based off of how it sounded. And this particular deer also tore off running through the brush and
Trying to find shelter. Or
didn't
something.
stop. Yeah, it didn't stop. So sometimes when you hit them in the guts or even in the liver, they'll run off a little ways and then they'll kind of stand there hunched up and not want to move. This one tore off crashing. So now what we're gonna do is look for the arrow, which is actually right here. I'm gonna turn you around and you can just come with us here. Maybe I can turn you around, maybe I can't.
Guess
Yeah,
not.
leave it to me. Not know what I'm doing here. Well, there's the arrow. And actually on this deer, even before we get to the arrow, we see some other things here. So
Yeah, like blood.
there's blood
There's some more.
all over here.
This is really crazy.
So we're probably thinking
What else?
going like this way.
What else do you guys see besides blood? What's this?
Here.
There's hair.
There.
Now that can be an interesting thing. There's a
I
lot of
I thought it was frosted grass because everything's frosted.
there's a lot of hair here. Sometimes that means you hit it low. Sometimes that means you hit it low, but I'm not sure on this one yet.
Well, I mean,
All
we
right,
know
can
it
you
did go through because the
Yeah,
blood
we-
team has blood.
It will always go through.
We got a good pass through. Can you
You wanna
pull that arrow out and bring it here, James?
Whoa.
Oh, careful. And we're gonna look at the blood on the arrow.
pretty good. Got
Looks-
some hair on it.
Looks good. So this blood is
Good blood.
dark,
Dark.
but bright. It's not too dark. When you hit them in the liver, it's dark and dull colored, almost like maroon.
This is darkish, but also pretty light.
Yeah, so
Should
we
I
know
start tracking it?
we know we didn't hit it in the liver, so we can rule out the liver. And now we got to look at the blood that's on the leaves here.
Almost.
Now, look at this. I don't know if you can see that. Do you see what's in that blood?
Black.
There's little bubbles in that blood. So when you got bubbles in your blood, that's a sure sign that you got a lung hit. So
So it's dead.
a lung hit is good. Look at all this blood. You guys
It's a
see all
major
of this?
organ.
Oh my goodness.
This is crazy. That's like blah 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 blah. Pretty easy tracking, James. Don't step on the blood, James. So it came through here.
So we know we got lungs. We got a lot of blood.
And I think it ran into a tree here.
Did it?
Yeah. Where's the blood?
Stay on the blood.
Going down here. And then it's kind of hard to stop. I mean,
Look at that. Oh my goodness.
do you go straight or keep going that way? It went straight. So we know you could hear it. That means it isn't too far away.
Go ahead. Stay on the blood.
Also might have not gone.
I should say it's been about at least 14 hours since we shot this deer, so we're not being too quiet. Did you lose the blood?
There's some.
There's some right there.
There.
It goes over there.
Does it?
Yep.
Oh. Straight. Right up here.
Lots of good blood.
Oh. So the bleeding's a lot bigger. That's interesting. That's interesting.
And I know she didn't stop and stand around, so.
Well, if she did, that probably would have been a liver.
Look at this. It's even up here on the. It's good when it's splashed on the leaves that are up high. That means I didn't hit her low like I was afraid.
Look at this. Blood everywhere. Well, that's almost a 100% dead deer. Yeah, so we probably know that it's definitely probably dead. There's like a 90% chance. 95% chance it's dead. There's like a 100. It's dead. It has to be dead. There's no way it's alive. There's a crash. There's so many bloods.
Look at all the bubbles in this blood. That's a
There's bubbles. There's a lot of blood. There's blood on the leaves up high.
lots of blood, lots of bubbles.
It's gotta be a dead deer.
Oh my goodness, look at that.
Right there.
You see her?
She's down
Alright, let's keep following the blood trail because sometimes you learn something.
She's blood all over the stump of the tree. Oh, I think it went going. I think it went like.
She ran into that tree.
It's just one leaf.
Yep. Oh man,
Done.
she was not doing so hot. Huh? Look at that.
Yeah. You could just see it. But well, we already know one thing. When we shot that, you were going hot. Not the deer.
I don't know that I've ever seen
blood.
Just such big pools of blood on the deer that was cracking. Wow.
It's so much blood. Nice though.
Yeah.
Can we go straight? I think, yeah.
He's probably running out of blood.
Yeah, there's nothing here anymore. Yeah. There's, I don't see any more.
Oh, there's the deer.
A little. There's some.
It's a big one.
Nice though.
Pretty big. Nice. Dad.
Yeah, I got a little blood.
Sticky gun. No, sticky gun. Sticky gun.
All right. Well, that is a nice one.
Oh. That was a pretty good shot.
Maybe we did get both ones on there.
Yeah.
Let's get her.
Well, you were good while you lasted. Is she frozen?
Let's get her out of here just a little bit.
She's like frozen.
Ugh.
I'll try to, if I can step over there.
Yeah, you guys.
You got both lungs.
Yep, that's straight where I wanted to hit her at that range.
Smelly.
So, thanks for coming tracking with us. That ended up being a pretty easy one, but you can kind of see the method and how we do it. Thanks for joining us.